With Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness set to be the next big chapter in the story of Doctor Strange, the Multiverse, and the MCU, a lot of people are wondering whether the next film is going to severely underperform at the box office due to the fact that 2 of the last 3 entries in the MCU have somewhat underperformed, one specifically being the first ever MCU run. So let's look at this whole scenario. So what exactly do we consider underperforming? Is Doctor Strange supposed to make $2 billion at the box office? Probably not. I don't think anybody's predicting that. Is it supposed to make $1 billion at the box office? Maybe. I think that's a safe estimate in terms of what you would hope you get with a film that is a sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home, but also picking up many plot threads from recent things going on in the MCU. So you would hope. And also, with a lot of factors going into it, like nostalgia and teasing the multiverse, you would hope so. But other people are saying that it's probably going to suffer because of the MCU's recent track record. Now, I kind of have to stop and pause at this and really think about it for a second. Shang-Chi did not really underperform. It still made over $450 million worldwide. And it was really one of the first big films that was back to theaters, even though not all theaters were open. It performed pretty good considering its budget and the fact that it was a brand new MCU film that didn't have any established MCU characters in it. Again, we go to the Eternals next, and same story. Yeah, the review scores weren't there, but it made more than $400 million worldwide in the same type of scenario. We can also look at Sony's Venom, or Venom Let There Be Carnage, I should say. That underperformed technically as well, because they didn't secure that Chinese release date. Mind you, had Eternals and Shang-Chi secured those, you could have easily added another $100 to $200 million on top of their box office, thus making those films land right alongside the first Doctor Strange, and more so than any of the other previous films in terms of box office for new characters. So, what exactly do we have as any evidence for Doctor Strange possibly bombing or suffering due to previous films? I honestly don't think there's anything here. There's still plenty of affinity by people to see what happens with this character. There's plenty of intrigue in the multiverse concept. There's a lot of people that are just going to want to know what happens next and about what exactly they're teasing. And they're using the same type of marketing tactic that they used for Spider-Man No Way Home. I honestly don't think it suffers at all. Last I saw, the overall estimate that Disney was hoping to get for the upcoming sequel was $750 to $800 million. Meaning that they're honestly, in my opinion, I think shooting a little lower than expectations. But again, Disney always does this. Which to me signals that, optimistically, you could easily hit $1 billion with this, and I don't see why you wouldn't. Again, we don't really know the bigger picture here. But I think once we get to that opening weekend, once we see how excited people are for it, I think we're going to be talking about this in a very different way instead of, well, it's probably not going to do good to, well, that overperformed, so what happens next? Again, I just want to remind people that optimistically, box office analysts were saying, at best, Spider-Man No Way Home will finish with $1 billion. It almost doubled that.